Hello. Happy day after Thanksgiving. After seeing some articles, there's some things I would like to talk about. One, I am a furry. I've been one since I met my friend Ian, and that's just, yeah. The reason I also am a furry is I absolutely loved furry comic books ever since I was probably 12 years old. My first favorite comic book was Furlough. Honestly, I'm probably going to get a lot of heat about this video because I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, furries are gross, disgusting. What about the furry raiders, blah, blah, blah. Okay. One, I don't support in any way, shape, or form the furry raiders. Never have, never will. My reasoning, and this is why I wanted to found a group called Star Paws, is because hate is the worst thing our fandom could go through. I go through it at the anime conventions because of what I did in 2009. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Being a furry doesn't mean anything about sex to me. No. I mean, yeah, I've met a few interesting furs, a few drama furs, a few, let's just put it bluntly, strange ones. But, this is the but. Sorry, I'm in my basement. But, what the hell is that doing over there? Oh, sorry, my washer tends to vibrate. So I'm always having to push it back to where it belongs. Okay. So, yes, I am a furry. I have the ever-pressing collection of teddy bears. I love teddy bears. Okay? This is one of mine. As you can see, his eyes kind of sunk in after a while because this bear belonged on my bed for a very long time. He's been moved to my basement because, I don't have enough room. But, to be quite honest, furries are hardly what you would call sexual deviants. Because some of them just don't do that. What happens behind a bedroom with two consenting adults is not anyone's business. Period. Okay? I'm a fur. I am not into the whole sexual deviancy. As you can see, I'm probably more into Star Wars than I am into that kind of crap. My fiance will not get into that one. He doesn't. He looks at it just like I do, going, okay, why? So, when I saw this video of its life with this one lady on CNN, and I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be the most difficult thing to talk about, because, for me, when I told my mother I was a furry, oh, you have no idea how much this woman, overreacts about everything. My mother overreacts over everything. Okay? So, back in 2010, I finally told my mother, yes, I'm a furry. No, you're not. Yes, I am. My mother is convinced that it's a phase. A lot of things she thinks is a phase. This is a woman who convinced me for almost half my childhood that my learning disability, literally, because I should do what they say, that I should be a good student and follow the rules and not question what a teacher tells me. Honestly, my mother did not take into account that I was being verbally assaulted by other students halfway through my childhood. Why else do you think I went to the fur fandom? Because I didn't get verbally assaulted. And also, I liked being around fursuiters. I actually enjoy hugging somebody who's in a giant puppy costume. And yes, one of my really good friends was named Puppy. Nothing went further than that. He was just my friend. But here's the thing with furries. Furries have a sense of rules, okay? We do have a sense of rules. 1, trash happens. We learn to live with it. 2, sexual deviancy even exists in the comic book, anime, and a couple other fandoms. Even Star Trek has sexual deviancy in there for some god reason, because, Kirk had to sleep with anything with a pulse, okay? He's like Jack Harkness in Doctor Who. Will sleep with anyone with a pulse. Alright? I mean, I remember a line from one of the movies with Jay and Silent Bob, and Jay's talking about going into outer space and how he would screw an alien. Think about that in a very weird context. And then you come back and tell me, there's no sexual deviancy in Star Trek. Okay? Because there is. Because there are sexual deviancies in a lot of the fandoms. Hell, I even see it in Star Wars for some cases. And I've seen some sexually explicit artwork here, but by the way, because that's the other reason I left one of my groups. I am not very big on the sexual aspect things. I like my artwork. I had a trouble at DakuCon when I saw pictures of Eevees screwing. Think about that. There's deviancy in every fandom, and you just have to smile and nod and go, okay. I'm going that way. Have fun. I'm going to go enjoy my non-hentai and my lovely good series. Bye. See ya. But yeah, that is something that a lot of people don't realize. There are furries that are non-sexually attracted to weird things. There are furries that are just plain weird. There are furries that are just normal, everyday people that have normal day jobs, cope with stress a certain way, and live a certain lifestyle that actually helps. I mean, for me, I had, for the longest time, the lowest self-esteem known to man, because who would want to be friends with somebody who has a learning disability? Who would want to be friends with me? And then I find out I have hundreds and hundreds of friends, and yet I still feel the same way. I don't feel like I've coped with it very well at all. So when I went into the fur fandom, the first person I met actually had autism. The first guy I met walked up and introduced himself, and I'm like, hi, and he introduced himself, and he seemed so normal to me. And it wasn't wrong to say, hi, my name is, and he would say his name is something like Ping, or he would give me his furry name, and that's who I knew him as. My furry name has always been Rippy Van Winkle. Yes, I named myself after a character in a freaking comic book. But her personality and my personality, the Fursona personality, is totally different from what I came up with from the comic book. Rip Van Winkle from Helsing is a freaking asshole. She used to be like a really cool character, I thought. But then I realized how her ideology was totally different from mine. And so I turned my Fursona, Rippy, into a totally different character. Yeah, she's a black and white cat crossed with a Cheshire cat and a two-tailed cat demon from Japan. And she holds a sign that says, "Insanity needs company." And she's not insane. She's actually pretty funny. I actually wrote a story about her on Wattpad. And Rippy became part of who I was. Rippy is someone who I wish I could be. I love magic tricks. I love doing sleight of hand. I can't do it because my hands are not that dexterous. But yet I have wanted pictures of her doing magic tricks, doing all the tricks that Schmendrick from The Last Unicorn did. Doing a juggling trick and then doing a backflip and disappearing and then appearing behind the throne. And looking all happy about it. I wanted that in my persona so badly. And no one's ever thought about actually asking if I wanted to do a fursuit of her. I want to do a fursuit of her, but I want to be the one to design her. I want to be the one to dress up and walk out and say, hey, this is what I did. This is what I designed. I sewed this. I made this myself. And I can't use a sewing machine worth shit right now. The truth is, furries are just like everybody else. We're not... If you ever ask me a question about why I'm a furry, I usually answer the same way I've always answered. It's just part of who I am. It's like asking, why am I an anime nerd? That's just the way I am. I love certain animes. I hate DBZ, okay? I cannot get into it. I had a friend who's totally into it. He loves it. And I am totally not a fan of it. And he knows it, and he doesn't push it. He'll push Ancient Magus Bride before he'll ever push DBZ on me. And I'm into Ancient Magus Bride. I'm also into Flying Witch. I'm into Netsume's Book of Friends. I love Another. I am a huge fan of Tokyo Ghoul. I love all these different series. I love Code Geass. Okay? I absolutely love Code Geass. And I like Rurouni Kenshin. And the sad thing is, when I get excited about it, about what I like, that's when people realize, oh, your learning disability is showing. And I'm like, oh, great. And then I get the people who are like, well, that's why we like you. What? Yeah, that's why we like you. You have a learning disability and you're not afraid to show it. You're not scared that somebody's going to judge you. And actually, I am scared. I am terrified of being judged. I've been called a loser. I've been called the R word so many damn times in my childhood that I got to the point where I didn't really like people. In fact, I had such a bad feeling about people that I judged them before I even met them. And when I finally met people that actually gave a damn about me, I still felt hurt because I couldn't express how I felt. Even as a furry, I have a damn difficult time expressing myself because I express so many different emotions all the different times. And sometimes people say, oh, you're bipolar. No, it's not that. It's because I'm so used to being ridiculed and judged by my parents for not being who they wanted me to be. My mother looks at me and I am the biggest disappointment in her life. Can you imagine being 6 years old and you get diagnosed with learning disabilities and your mother is like treating it like you have just been diagnosed with cancer? Just think about that. My mom doesn't even realize she judged it. And when I found the fur fandom, I found people that were just like me. That went through the same shit. And when I saw the article, I said, oh my gosh, these people are just like me. There was a guy who was in the army who was sexually assaulted by his own peers. All because he was into art and theater. He's not gay. And I felt so horrible for him because people didn't understand him. A girl with social anxiety dresses up as a puppy and entertains so many children, and it's her life. She's no longer scared. She puts on that fursuit. She is totally a different person. And then you have people who are sick. One of my really good friends is chronically ill. And, well, two of my really good friends are chronically ill. And one of them I introduced to anime. And the reason I introduced her to my group, my cosplay groups, is because she was so alone. She complained that she was alone. And I said, well, do you like Doctor Who? And she's like, yeah, I dress up as Doctor Who all the time. I said, do you want to dress up as Doctor Who? And she's like, what? You can dress up. I can show you. We went to a thrift store and bought her costume. We put it together. We set it up. She went and bought the fez, which I told her you don't need to buy a fez, but okay. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is, don't judge people based on what they're into, okay? I'm a furry, okay? I'm into so many different things, but being a furry actually also means to me a way of expressing who I am. I mean, I'm wearing a Kylo Ren t-shirt. Can you guess what kind of fandom I'm also into? I'm an anime nerd. I'm a Star Wars nerd. I've been one since I was 4. And that's the one thing I remember that nobody really made fun of me for at times. So, like I said, before you judge, take a look at yourselves. I play video games. I am going blind in one eye. I have a cataract. Okay? This thing is driving me batty, and I'm going to the doctor today to figure it out. And I want to make it so clear to people. I've been there. I've walked down every freaking judgmental road I've been through since I was like 6. I've been called names. I've been called stupid shit. And it still has effect on me. Because it's PTSD in a way. Because you're scared that, okay, I'm going to walk out dressed as Detective Conan. I walked out at Denver at DokuCon. I had one person go, "Oh my God, it's Detective Conan!" And I had to say, "Yeah, I'm dressed up as Detective Conan." And she demanded a picture. I said, "Do you really want a picture?" And she's like, "Yeah!" And I did the pose and I did all that. And I was having the time of my life. Because the first time in my life, other than the cosplay I did of Omi Tsukiono from Vice Cruise back in the early 2000s, I never really actually thought I could do something like walk out on stage and be that person. I was terrified. But I did it. And I felt so much better when I did it. I still feel better when I walk around at a convention and I don't compete in the costume contests. I don't want to. I made so many good friends that do compete in costume contests, but they never really, took me seriously until I told one guy I really didn't appreciate him putting a girl down for the way her costume didn't look to him. So, yeah, I'm just going to say it. Everybody judges everybody in a very different way, and when you judge a furry, hi, I'm a furry. I have anxiety, I have social problems, I am scared to death of being judged, and I am terrified of people who treat me like crap. Yeah, I'm slightly overweight. I work out constantly. Have you any idea how many miles I walk in a day? Or how long I walk from point A to point B? Do you know how hard it is to work at a job and I'm lifting shit everywhere? Yeah, you don't know me. You don't know what I'm going through. I work out and yet I still have this. Good luck. I'm not going to have to deal with it. So don't judge a furry by their what they wear. Judge them by their character, by who they are and how they stand up for people. Can you imagine what my life was like before I discovered the fur fandom? It was pretty crappy. Okay, my life was pretty damn crappy before I discovered furries and anime and sci-fi, all that. My life was crappy as hell. And then I discovered Star Wars. Then I discovered anime. Then I discovered... if it wasn't for Ralph Bakshi, I probably would never have found anime. So, yeah. Judging somebody based on their stuff, on their hobbies is kind of stupid. Anyway, have a nice day.